What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more acid techno. And we're back. I'm going to put this in a playlist that I haven't used in a long time, which is to say Shnootz's Hot Wax. My original channel, this was more of a thing, because my original channel, which, ended almost a year ago, because YouTube told me, like, oh, it's linked to an old university email, you have to change channels. But yeah, it was all techno, trance, hardcore, it was all electronic music, rave music. Hello, Luca. And so I used to do a playlist more regularly where if it was a record that had come out within the last 6 months, I called it Hot Wax, fresh. This just came out. It was just pressed. And out here in California, I felt like 6 months was reasonable because, in the UK or, Europe where a lot of these records come out, if you live there, you might get them in the first couple weeks. If you live out here, it might take a month or so for shipping, or at least a few weeks. So yeah, I stretched it to 6 months. Nevertheless, I was doing it when I first started this channel, but eventually, I branched out, and even though I'm still doing acid techno and acid trance reactions, a lot of them haven't been like super fresh records, or at least if they have been, they might be right around 5 or 6 months, so I haven't done one in a while, but this just came out in the last couple weeks, so I am going to put it in that playlist. Nevertheless, we're talking a tune by Chris Liberator, the man, the myth, the legend. If you know acid techno, you know this man. Just an absolute legend, and as I commented on his Discogs page, in the last several years I've got to know him a lot better personally, and he is as outstanding a person as he is an acid techno producer. So yeah, and his very prolific collaborating partner of the last few years, which is to say Sam DFL, and who Sam, I believe, runs the sort of mastering studio and the Stay Up Forever headquarters. So yeah, these guys make a lot of really good acid techno. A lot of it is hard edge and sort of punk rock style, which I very much appreciate. And it's not the first time Chris has had a partner who makes, with whom he makes a lot of punk style acid techno. Sterling Moss being another great example. But yeah, we're going to listen to a tune they did called Kill Ya. All 4 tunes on this record are like all the Abusive 303 records, very acid-driven, obviously, but intense acid-driven, sort of sharp and wicked acid-driven. But this track, it just has this, I don't know, electric, kind of crunchy, frenetic sound to the acid work, which makes it just really great in terms of the aural quality. And it has, once again, this acid punk rock guitar sort of feel. Then there's this section in the middle where it strips down very heavily, and it has this, I don't know if it's like a natural drum, but it has this sort of percussive rhythm, and it then leads you right back into that crunchy acid techno guitar again. So let's get it. This is Chris Liberator and Sam DFL on Acid Techno in the Modern Era EP Volume 4, when the EPs have been on a few different labels. My understanding is there's another one coming on another Stay Up Forever sub-label. But more on that when we get there. Nevertheless, this is, as I said, Kill Ya by Chris Liberator and Sam DFL on Abusive 303 number 11, and this is released in 2023. There's no gap. There's literally no gap between the tracks, so. I like that sonar, kind of submarine or maybe train type of sound. Incidentally, I just used this in a mix that I recently put up on the channel called Fireproof. So if you want to hear this in a mix, and it's right near the end of the mix, I think it's the penultimate track. Check that out. And away we go. a Chris and Sam track, if you're just hearing this for the first time, you're like, you know, when is the other shoe gonna drop? And the answer is now. Tell that symbol is going to come in. That if I'm mixing, it's hard to focus as a DJ because it's just like, jog on if you want to be more polite about it. I'm gonna kill ya. I'm gonna kill ya. Again, acid techno punk rock, man. Another example where a relatively simple acid riff can just kill it if it's a good enough riff. Bubbling acid below it all, just relentlessly energetic. Like any really, really good track, my thought is like, damn, like I wish it was a little longer. love it. Again, all 4 tracks on the record are rocking and sort of acid techno punk rock, but I think this one is the crown jewel of the release. Once again, big shout out to Chris and Sam. They just continue to make like an insanely large number of high quality acid techno tracks over a relatively condensed time period. Seriously, in the last, like, I don't know, 3 years, it's like dozens of tunes, like on Stay Up Forever labels, doing remixes for other labels. It's just crazy. It's like, again, Chris has been making tunes since the early 90s in the acid techno style. Obviously, he's been a punk rock musician and other things going back even farther than that, which again, the connection between punk rock and acid techno, it's not just conceptual, it's not just sort of philosophical. I think it's in a lot of cases, it's the same people, who are working both sides of these streets. So yeah, big shout out to Chris. But the fact that he continues to make this many tunes, this many awesome tracks, and including tracks that are being called like acid techno in the modern era, he's not stagnant. He's not, just sort of getting comfortable making a certain type of tune again and again and again for years. He's continued to sort of modify the type of acid techno that he and Stay Up Forever put out. So I absolutely love that. So again, big shout out to Chris and Sam. Big shout out to Stay Up Forever, as well as the Abusive 303 sub-label. And yeah, let me know what you think of this one. Luca and I will see you next time. Peace.